Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfect, man. This is our episode.
Perfect.
In all senses.
This is our episode. Exactly. Even if nobody's ever heard of this beer, nobody cares. This is our episode. Welcome back to Beer Brackets, everybody. This is a long time coming. Back to the beer future. Flashback. I don't even know how many years. 8 years, 7 years, whatever it is. Alessandro and I meet. We meet in different cities around the world. And then he comes to Montreal for the first time to visit me. I take him to the St. Ambroise Brewery in Montreal. Technically, it's the McAuslan Brewery, founded by Peter McAuslan, who I never told you this was a co-worker of my father's one time back in the day. Guy. St. Ambroise beer. It's kind of like the brand. It's what they call their beer. It's because it's on St. Ambroise Street. That's the name. So the beer is branded St. Ambroise. It's brewed by McAuslan. McAuslan also makes energy drinks, and they also make gin, I believe. They have a distillery, and they do cider too. So they have a whole bunch of different brands, but St. Ambroise is their line of beer. So I brought him down to the brewery. Amazing spot. Insert picture right here of the two of us enjoying the cream ale on the terrace, as we say, or the in Montreal, or the patio out there. Beautiful along the Lachine Canal in Montreal. Outside these dilapidated old industrial buildings. This is beautiful spot. Amazing. Best beer patio in the city, I think. And they had this beer that they had on tap, and they only had it on tap at the time, and it was a nitro-infused cream ale. And so I introduced Alessandro. We got a picture of it. So refreshing and creamy. And he loved it. We always thought, why don't they can this beer? And we always thought, oh, it must be like just expensive, to get like the nitro cans and all that going. But I surprised him. I came down to Florida a couple of weeks ago, and I brought him a can of the St. Ambroise Nitro Cream Ale so we can enjoy it again together.
I can't wait. I'm just like looking at this can, so fascinated. Because
did you see the beer instructions on the back?
I was looking at them. I was like, do I need to follow here? What's going on? Like, it says to turn 3 times.
Wait, 3 times? So we got to do it properly when we eventually pour this out. But yeah, you're right. It says flip it over 3 times.
3 times.
Crack it, then do a hard pour.
And then a hard pour. 180. Okay.
All right. We'll do it, McAuslan. We will do it. Interesting brewery. So McAuslan, they have a lot of ties back to England. They have a classic line of beers. And their classic beers are all brewed using a Yorkshire yeast. So a traditional British yeast. And they also are one of the few remaining breweries outside of England that brew their classic line, not this one, their classic line. So they have a pale ale, and they have a blonde, and they have some others in a very traditional brewing technique used in the British Isles, which is closed room open tank fermentation. So it's not open air fermentation, but they have the open tanks controlled in a closed room, and they ferment that way.
Nice.
Using these British Yorkshire yeasts. So it's a very traditional British way of brewing beer. If you ever see their pale ale specifically, I think is incredible. If you live in a place where you might see it on the shelves, give it a try. It's absolutely delicious, and it is really reminiscent of some traditional British pale ales and bitters. It's really, really delicious. They make delicious beer across the board.
Oh, I can testify to that. I agree. Like, we went there, like, in that afternoon, we tried like all their lineup, and we had this delicious cream ale, and I've been dreaming it ever since, my friend. So this was a phenomenal surprise for the connections we share about this beer, all the memories, and for the fact that really I can't wait to try it. Like, I'm just so excited.
You haven't had it since that day,
pretty much
7-8 years ago, whenever it was. Yeah.
All right.
Follow. Are we gonna do this? Tilt it 3 times.
3 times. Okay. Are you ready?
All right.
Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah.
1, 2.
There's no widget, so
3.
3.
Okay.
All right. Hopefully it won't explode.
Let's see. And then hard pour.
And then hard pour it.
All right.
Whoa.
Ooh.
All right.
Okay.
I guess the turning it 3 times activates the nitro?
I'm not sure, my friend. Ooh, is there... Oh, the widget is at the bottom. I see it.
Oh, you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
Why can't I see anything? There's too many bubbles.
It's connected to the bottom.
Oh, it's the bottom widget. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man, look at this. Look at this.
All right, buddy. Well, aroma cheers.
Oh, aroma cheers. This is going to be so difficult not to try and take a sip.
I know.
Maybe it's just the fact that I haven't had it in a long time, but it has a distinct bready note. And now maybe it might be just the fact that you just talked about British beers, but it does resemble more of a pale ale. If I had to first guess, there's a very nice hop presence.
Well, it is a pale ale. Sorry to interrupt. It says like on the back a smooth, creamy pale ale. So
So it that classic like British pale ale hop. It's very aromatic, floral, almost like some dried fruit notes in it. It's very subtle, but it's distinct. Maybe it's just nostalgia, but I'm really enjoying this. I think I'm gonna start with the 2.5, my friend. It's a very unique flavor that I haven't smelled in a long time, and I somehow like find myself like really craving it. Maybe it's just also the look of it and being here, and it resembles a lot of pale ales that I've had in England. I'm really enjoying that.
I remember it being a lot more aromatic on draft. Out of the can right now, I find it's a little bit more muted, but you still get, like you said, I even get like a deep like raisin, like deep dark fruit out of there. It's really, really nice. Some very subtle maltiness. Definitely. It's very, very inviting. I'm going to go, just because I would like it to be a little bit stronger, I think on the aroma I'm going to start with a 2 because it's good, but I find it's a little... Just a little muted for my preference. I'd like it to be stronger because what I smell is amazing. Let's go in with a sip, buddy.
Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Here we are. Back to the beer future.
Back to the beer future.
Oh, there it is. There it is. It's very much like you know how I would describe this? I would say this is like a craft Kilkenny.
Oh, yeah.
It's like taking what Kilkenny is and craftifying it and making it a little bit more funky, a little bit more varied and interesting, a little bit more flavorful. But it's along those lines if you want to place it.
I could not agree more, my friend. I think that's a very well way of describing it. I like that it has a lot of those classic pale ale, British pale ale, bitter characters with those very aromatic hop notes. I just love how it all plays in, still having a malt backbone.
Yeah.
So well done. I have a vague memory of it. Obviously fresh, on tap, on the terrace there. Like it's just...
It's a much better nitro experience on tap.
Of course.
Just like Guinness is, just like any nitro beer is.
Of course.
The can's never going to replicate that.
I agree 100%. I gotta be honest, like there probably is a factor in like I haven't had this in a long time, and I remember it, and I'm really enjoying it and craving it, and the fact that it's not something that I have easy access to makes it probably a little bit more special. But for me, the taste of it is something that it's hard to replicate, and it really identifies this unique beer in a way. So I'm gonna stay with the 2.5 because I can't quite give it the perfect score because it's really well done. I just love the way that it's playing between the malts, those raisin dark fruit notes with like aromatic herbal notes of classic English hops. Like this combination is just like incredible for me.
You nailed it, man. The classic English hops and the yeast. I think especially the yeast, all their beers have that very distinct British yeasty character. You nailed it. I love that there's dark fruit notes on this too. It gives it so much of a robustness. I love Kilkenny, but Kilkenny's very subtle. This is like flavorful.
It is.
Really, really, and distinct. And you nailed it, man. British, bitter, British pale ale. You taste that in here, but smooth and creamy. I'll match you on the 2.5.
It's interesting because I don't think I've had that many nitrogen infused beer aside from stouts. You know, the Kilkenny is one. On tap. I've never had it in the can.
Yeah. Well, you will.
I will. There's a surprise coming.
That's coming.
It's interesting to see how the nitrogen like affects the pale ale. It just creates this very unique and brings out different notes. I really like how it's very silky, but there's still like quite a bit of bitterness and a hop presence. I'm gonna stay with the 2.5, my friend. If it had a little bit more creaminess, just a little bit more, and that might just be because it's a can. So on tap, for what I remember, like it kind of like brings it up a notch. If it had a little bit more, it would be absolutely perfect score. But I'm loving this beer, man. I'm so happy you got this for me. So thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. I stuffed it in a sock and put it in my luggage because I was afraid to bring a nitro can on a plane. And so I put it in a sock in a Ziploc freezer bag.
It worked.
It was fine. Long story short, you can bring nitro cans on a plane. It's totally fine if you didn't know. The on-tap version of this, the draft version, would be on 3-on-3 mouthfeel because it's thicker, it's creamier. I'll agree with the 2.5. I really find that interesting contrast of the nitro mixed with that British pale ale. The bitterness of the hops, it's tingly.
Yep.
You get that sort of acidity from the bitterness of the hops on your tongue, but at the same sense, smooth and creamy. Just because I know how good it is on draft, or else I might be tempted to give this a 3, but because I know it gets better, you got to leave that space. What do you think about the finish?
Ooh, the finish, my friend.
I love that reaction.
The finish is tough, my friend. Here, at first, when you take a sip, like it has that classic silky finish of a nitrogen infused beer. But then the magic starts happening. If you let it linger, you start getting those notes of raisins, dark fruit, plum, slightly bit of
like a good British pale ale,
highly aromatic hop presence that lingers with this nice bitterness that is not like West Coast style that is very pungent and piney. It's just like very rich and aromatic in a very round and welcoming and comforting way. Like only a pale ale in a British pub could do during a rainy day.
Exactly. On a rainy day.
On a rainy day.
That's right.
I'm going to give it a 3, my friend. I think this beer on the finish, it's achieving something that is very difficult to do.
It's very unique. I've never had a nitro beer like this one. But I think just the fact, the combination that the brewery put so much emphasis into recreating those British beer styles, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. All the characters you get on the taste. I mean, the dark fruit, those beautiful pale ale characters, but just with that smooth body that transports that finish to the finish line. 2.5 for me, Mike. What do you think about overall beer experience from beginning to end for St. Ambroise Cream Ale?
Let me take one final sip before I give my judgment here. Yeah, definitely a 3. Definitely a 3.
Yeah? Yeah, you're going to 3?
Definitely a 3, my friend. Unique beer, very unique aromas, incredible taste. If this was available around here, like this would be one of my go-tos for sure.
I'm so happy they can this now. We were saying for years, you and I were saying, why don't they can their cream ale? And they finally did. And you know what? The distribution they have around the city here is amazing. Any corner store, any dépanneur you go into, any grocery store you go into, you can get singles of this.
That's nice.
They sell 4-packs as well. They also have a mix pack of. They started brewing a Irish Nitro Stout.
Okay.
Yeah, so they have a mix pack with this one, the Nitro Irish Stout together. I haven't tried their Nitro Stout yet. I'm curious to try that one. Ooh, that should be really good.
Maybe
I'll break that on a Beer Explorer episode.
I was going to say, man, like I would be very curious to hear your thoughts on that. The more I try and the more I hear about this brewery, I'm just like fascinated by it. And the quality that they are able to maintain is incredible. So
they were definitely one of the first, if not the first real craft breweries to open up in Montreal and really have a presence because they've been around forever. The quality of their beers, the distribution they have, how readily accessible they are, the quality, they're just amazing. A long story short, it's a 3-on-3 beer experience for me. Yeah, it's
yes.
I haven't had a nitro beer quite like this one before. The way they combine the nitro beer elements, all the best parts of a nitro beer with a classic British pale ale. Fantastic. I mean, from beginning to end, it's a pleasure. This beer is a pleasure. So final scores for myself, they came out to a 4.33 on 5. And for Alessandro, a little bit higher, 4.5 on 5. And for both of us, it falls into the same category in the end, and that is an outstanding beer. This was amazing, man. I mean, we filmed 2 beers in this little session here. We did the Collective Arts Lager. I was so happy that you got to try that. It's been such a nostalgic evening hanging out in the pub here with you, buddy, having these nostalgic Canadian beers. And for you, this one was so special for so many reasons. Like, this has just been so much fun.
No, likewise, my friend. And first of all, like, thank you for bringing it again. This felt really like back to the beer future, because it brings us to a time when we were just dreaming about this beer experience and pub that now has become the Beer Brackets pub. Now, fast forward, we're sitting here drinking that same beer, just in a different location, and still enjoying it and having a good time together. So what better way of celebrating that with this amazing beer? So thank you.
Whatever you do, click that beer bell down below. It's going to let you know when we're in the pub. YouTube will let you know, so you can come back and hang out with us in the pub and have a beer along with us.
And no matter what, don't forget to close your beer brackets.
Never forget. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.